I was washing dishes.
Patricia Pacheco keeps reliving the sounds of that night.
There was a knock. And while I was walking to the restroom, I heard a shot, and I heard him say, "Oh no," and then another shot.
When she stopped hiding, Patricia found her longtime friend Michael Miller on the floor. He had been shot dead.
I was thinking we were going to maybe stay together for the rest of our lives, We were getting older and we had joked about being together. I hate feeling this way, being all alone.
She talked to us on her front porch, sitting in what was Michael's favorite chair.
I miss him tremendously.
Kelsey got back in the stolen car and drove another 4 miles west to John Garcia's house.
Minutes after Michael Miller was gunned down, there was that same deadly knock at John Garcia's door. He was shot right in front of 2 kids, one of them his own son.
These little kids doing CPR, chest compressions on my brother, trying to keep him alive.
John was an electrician in our town for 20 years, a family man, dead in an instant. In all, 4 people were shot that night. 3 of them died in less than an hour. And Houston police say the same guy was responsible for all the carnage.
Police say he murdered 3 people in less than an hour last night.
We now know both Michael Miller and John Garcia knew their killer. His name is Josh Kelsey. Both men had refused to rent him a room. And who can blame them? This guy was a time bomb. Since he was 18, he'd been charged with crimes more than 20 times in 6 different Texas counties: drugs, burglary, theft.
There's no way that anyone would envision that someone who doesn't have a typically violent past is going to go forward and commit this horrific murder spree.
Good excuse, except for this. Joshua Kelsey, even as a felon, got busted more than once for carrying a gun. And at least 3 times, our district attorney, Kim Ogg, was soft on Joshua Kelsey. The first time was April 2017. The felon in possession of a weapon charge was dismissed, part of a plea deal. Kelsey would just get a conviction for unauthorized use of a motor vehicle. In February of 2018, just 10 months later, Ogg's office cut Kelsey another deal, just 7 months in jail on a theft charge. In 2019, this serial felon is charged for a second time with carrying a gun. Kim Ogg's office pleads it down to attempted possession of a firearm, whatever that is. Instead of serving up to 20 years in prison, Kelsey served just 40 days in a Texas state jail. He was soon free to knock on Patricia and Michael's door, and then gun down John Garcia.
Yeah, Dave's in for everybody, for mom, dad, brothers, sisters, his nieces, his nephews. It's hard on everybody.
He was out free when he shouldn't have been, and now 3 people are dead. Dead!
After he did these 3 crimes here, after he shot my brother, he was driving out towards Rosenberg area. He was looking for his ex-girlfriend and another guy. Glad they weren't home.
Kim Ogg hasn't faced the cameras to explain, but her office blames resources.
We're dealing with limited resources for the judges, limited resources in the courtrooms, limited resources at the DA's office. So we don't have crystal balls.
You don't need a crystal ball. Just say no to felons who get busted carrying a gun. This isn't about resources. It's soft on crime.
And I want to say we must never forget that crime victims are the only unwilling participants in the justice system.
Kim Ogg got into office promising to protect victims of crime, but now she's adding victims because she's letting the most dangerous folks with guns back out on the streets. At least Kelsey spent some time in jail. Wait till you see the results of our investigation. We've checked. Since Kim Ogg has been the top law enforcement officer in this county, 344 different convicted felons, all busted again with a weapon, have been given a get-out-of-jail-free card. It's called deferred adjudication, a promise to behave. 5 criminals have actually gotten the sweetheart deal twice. Pull up a chair, Miss Ogg. We'll show you some of the consequences. James Williams gets a get-out-of-jail-free card in October 2017. September 2018, less than a year later, he gets picked up for attempted murder. Joseph Almanza gets a felon in possession conviction in March 2018. He gets his get-out-of-jail-free card. Less than 2 months later, he's picked up for compelling child prostitution. Eric Brown gets his get-out-of-jail-free card for carrying a gun as a felon. 8 months later, he gets charged with aggravated assault of his girlfriend with a gun. What a surprise. Want proof we're getting soft? Eric Brown had been busted for a felon in possession of a weapon before. In 2012, he got 4 years in prison. So this wasn't his first rodeo. But with Kim Ogg's office, he got no jail time at all. Antonio Green got deferred in November 2018 on his felon with a gun conviction. 24 days later, 24, he was arrested for aggravated kidnapping. Boy, that didn't take long. Felon Fernando Reveles was arrested in April of 2018 for being a felon in possession of a gun. 2 months later, he gets charged with assault and a burglary with the intent to commit sexual assault. How does Kim Ogg's office punish him? He gets deferred, a get-out-of-jail-free card. Less than 1 month later, Reveles gets busted again. The DA finally sends him to prison. The gun control debate always seems to center on background checks and gun shows. But should we be more worried about felons, convicted criminals who are carrying guns? Seems like a no-brainer, doesn't it? But our DA, Kim Ogg, is letting a lot of those felons just walk out the door without spending a day in prison. That, my friends, is a recipe for more nights like this one.
Just to know that people are getting released right now, bad criminals that can do this, I'm scared.
We all should be. 135 of these felons, given another chance by Kim Ogg to hurt someone else, have already violated their agreement. That's shocking. Being soft on crime has now made a victim out of Patricia Pacheco. She will now sit on that Southwest Houston porch alone.
I used to see him in the morning, say good morning, get coffee. Every morning I had, it's so hard.
Somebody needs to do something about it.